Growing a business can often feel like an uphill battle, right? To use a popular phrase, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack. Almost impossible. But how do you find that needle in the haystack? Do you comb through every straw with a lens? No, you bring a magnet. Which is to say, when you're trying to accomplish something, you should use leverage. This applies everywhere in life, but especially in business. The right leverage tool can multiply your efforts to make any project more effective. And yet there is a tool that's freely available to all of us, and a lot of people are not taking advantage of it. We're talking about the internet. So let's take a look at this free leverage tool that most people don't know how to effectively use. But before we dive in, we wanted to take a moment to talk about this video's sponsor, NordVPN. You know that here at ALUX, we're all about traveling, but one downside we don't always talk about is the frequent access denied error when trying to access websites from different locations while traveling the world. This can be especially frustrating if you're working as a freelancer abroad. That's why we use NordVPN. NordVPN is the fastest VPN available, and with just one click you can connect to more than 5,000 servers in over 60 countries. No more blocks, no matter where you go. Check out the link in the description to get a 2-year plan plus 1 additional month with a huge discount. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Okay, with that out of the way, let's dive in, shall we? Welcome to ALUX. Naval Ravikant's opinion on leverage. The co-founder and former CEO of AngelList, Naval Ravikant, has spoken at length about the different kinds of leverage that exist in business during some of his podcast episodes in 2009. He explained the concept of labor and capital leverage, product and media leverage, and why product leverage was more egalitarian. In case you're interested in checking out the podcast, they're called Labor and Capital are Old Leverage, Product and Media are New Leverage, and Product Leverage is egalitarian.
The most interesting and the most important form of leverage is this idea of products that have no marginal cost of replication. This is the new form of leverage. This is only invented in the last few hundred years. It got started with the printing press, it accelerated broadcast media, and now it's really blown up with the internet and with code.
Okay, so Naval mentioned the importance of leverage in the business world and why people pay more attention to some forms of leverage over others. Just take his point on labor leverage. Naval mentions how we evolved around labor as our main form of leverage. If one person can build a toy in an hour, 10 people could build 10 toys in the same time. So for most of our existence, we've looked at problems and projects through the lens of manpower. The more people we throw at it, the better and more successful we'll be. This is why we've grown to associate power with the number of people that you manage. After all, what would the king do without their people? But is that really the most effective approach? Naval argues that what you want is to use the minimum amount of labor that allows you to get the job done, while still taking advantage of other forms of labor instead. After all, the more people you have to manage, the messier things can become. Make the wrong move and suddenly you find yourself in a reenactment of the French Revolution. Off with their heads. Then you've got capital leverage. We're talking about resources and money here. This has been the main form of leverage for the last couple of hundred years or so. You can't fix everything by throwing more money at it, but it can't be denied that the more money and resources you have to play with, the more that you can do. However, capital leverage has the problem of being limited to people that have, well, capital. This is why many people feel this kind of leverage is a little bit unfair. The people on the top get to use it, and then their children will inherit it and continue using it. When it comes to capital, we're all playing on an uneven field. It's a powerful tool, sure, but requires specific knowledge and a lot of hard work. Either that or getting it from mom and dad. And finally, we come to the pièce de résistance and the main point of this video: product and media leverage. Naval argues that today the best form of leverage is products that have no cost of replication. With the internet, you can create and share something that doesn't require money or other people to work. Naval mentioned how his own podcast is a form of leverage, allowing him to reach far more people than he would have been able to do in the past. With the advent of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and other social media platforms, we've been granted incredibly powerful tools for leverage. Don't believe us yet? Well then, let's just take a look at some examples. Examples of media leverage at work. Naval pointed out how the fortunes of this generation were not made strictly through capital, like the last generation. Take someone like the podcaster Joe Rogan, the YouTuber Felix Kjellberg, aka PewDiePie, or the streamer Tyler Blevins, aka Ninja. Joe Rogan had worked in TV for a while hosting the reality show Fear Factor, but he really exploded through his podcasts and now has a net worth of $100 million. Both PewDiePie and Ninja have net worths of $40 million, and it was all through the growth they achieved through videos and streaming on YouTube and Twitch. The American dancer Charli D'Amelio had been dancing competitively from a young age, but once she started posting actively on social media, her career really took off. The young content creator now boasts over 128 million followers on TikTok, all because of her consistent posts and smart use of hashtags. Then there's Huda Kattan, who transformed her beauty blog, Huda Beauty, into a beauty empire with close to 50 million followers across social media. Huda now has a net worth of $550 million, and it all started by sharing tips and techniques she learned from the makeup industry. These people didn't have huge amounts of capital or a legion of workers toiling away day and night for them. Their product was content, and they leveraged that content into new opportunities. And sometimes you don't even have to directly become big. You can just ride that wave of an event or a situation. Take, for example, the small Romanian village of Bogata. Back in 2016, the American rapper Snoop Dogg posted a selfie while traveling to Bogota, Colombia. But when he added a location tag, he made a small typo and instead wrote Bogata. The interest in the village exploded, and many Romanians expressed excitement at this idea. After things were cleared out, the village still saw an opportunity to take advantage of the increased notoriety. They embraced the mix-up and even created a website called Visit Bogata to promote the village as a chill travel destination. And funny enough, Snoop Dogg did end up eventually going to Romania and actually performing there in 2018 thanks to all the support. That's just another example of the power of media leverage. Now let's take a look at using media leverage in your favor. Okay, so going back to Naval, he emphasized how product and media leverage are in effect permissionless. With capital leverage, you need someone to give you money. With labor leverage, you need people to work for you. But writing a tweet, making an Instagram post, uploading a video to YouTube, or starting your own podcast, none of that requires you to ask anyone for permission or needs the help of anyone else. That's the beauty of it. Through social media channels and internet platforms, you can reach anyone in the world without a significant investment, and we all have access to these opportunities. The power of online content gives you a product that you can provide infinitely and indefinitely without spending a dime. Each time you make a post, upload a video, write an article, or record a podcast episode, it can be consumed again and again without any extra effort on your part. That's what Naval means by a product that has a marginal cost of replication. Now, it's not as simple and easy as getting online and going at it. You need to have a plan, study the market, gauge interest, and above all, be consistent. You don't have to appeal to everyone, as there are many niches out there that are more popular than we think. You should also keep an eye out for things that everyone is talking about or the popular hashtags. You don't want to connect your niche to something totally unrelated, but if you see an opportunity to attach yourself to a popular event or personality in a tasteful way, then go for it. This new media and technological leverage even transforms the ideas of leverage that we have, turning them from permission-based leverage to forms of permissionless. You don't need to ask people to work for you when you can have your own online communities and followers spreading interest in you without any effort. The opportunities are endless, so if you want to start a project, you better take advantage of the leverage given to you by social media and technology. So to wrap all of this up, if there's any lesson to take away takeaway from this video is that you should never underestimate the power of the internet, and that if you have a project or idea you want to develop and are not taking advantage of social media, you're not doing it right. The best time to start a project was yesterday. The next best time was today. So get online and start posting, talking, streaming, or whatever you prefer. Just get working. And as for those of you who stuck with us all the way to the end, of course, there's a special bonus golden nugget for you. If you think your idea is too niche, think again. Did you know that there is a niche dedicated to watching people eat a lot of food? Yeah, it's called mukbang. You might have heard about it or seen it on YouTube because it's insanely popular. One YouTuber, Bans, has 2.56 million subscribers. I guess people really enjoy watching him eat, huh? Other interesting niches are cleaning influencers, granny influencers, and even pet influencers. Rest assured, there's a niche out there for everyone.